Hey guys, it's Kara from iStampin.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today guys, I have just the cutest, the most fun project that I've done in a long time. I know I've been saying that recently, but guys, these two cards were so fun to make. They're just absolutely darling, and I hope that it's coming across on camera. But I went ahead and made a girl's version and a boy's version of birthday cards using the Magical Day bundle. And if you have not seen this bundle in the Occasions catalog, which is on page 37 and also on 36, if you've just kind of overlooked it, please open up your catalog and just take a look at it again. It's just darling. It is so much fun. I don't care how old your children are. I don't care how old you are. You will just have, even if you don't have children, if you don't get this bundle, you will really be missing out on just some absolutely adorable projects that you can make. And so I thought what I would do is show you how to color them in. I'm using the Stampin' Blends, doing, like I said, a boy version and a girl version. I've done a lot of the die cutting and the embossing and things like that, just so we can put these cards together, and this is not going to be like an hour-long video. It's just precious. And the one thing that I want to say about the blends, these are the colors that I'm using, and you know, if you can afford to get the collection, I highly recommend it, because once you start playing with these, you're just going to have the best time with them. So these are the colors that I am using today to color in both of the images. So if you join my team during Celebration, you only have to pay $99 for this collection. Normally it's $121.50, but it ships for free, and you're getting 2 free stamp sets. So it's a great way to join my community, to be around other really fabulous stampers who you know, want to do this just, you know, for fun. So anyway, so if not, I'll show you which combo packs and which single blends that I'm using. But the other thing that I wanted to say, and I don't want to ramble on too much longer, is that, you know, the blends are really easy to use. I was really hesitant to get these because I thought it was going to be a really steep learning curve. There's really not. I mean, you just kind of play around with them. You may, you know, make some mess ups, which, you know, that's fine, but they're really quite easy to use. So if you have been, you know, holding off on getting these alcohol markers, really, you know, consider them. They're really easy to use, and I really think you're going to have fun with them. All right, so why don't we get started? So like I said, I am using the Magical Day stamp set along with the coordinating framelits. You do save 10% if you purchase this as a bundle, which I highly recommend, because I was able to die cut out that Darling Knight and the Little Mermaid. I can't imagine fussy cutting those out, so the die cuts are gold. They're worth every penny that you pay for. But I am going to be using thick Whisper White cardstock. So I thought, let's go ahead and get the stamping and coloring out of the way, because that's, you know, the part that takes the longest. So I'm going to be using Memento Tuxedo ink, and I have got the images right here. I just have one on each side on my block, and I am just going to stamp them on the cardstock. And like I said, I'm using thick Whisper White. I really like the results of the thick Whisper White. So if you want to give that a shot, pull that cardstock out. All right, so there we go. Now I will zoom in and I will speed this up so you don't have to watch me do this in real time. But I'm going to start off with the mermaid first. So the colors that I'm going to be using are Daffodil Delight, the combo pack. That's what I'm going to be coloring in her hair. Ivory for her face. The dark pink pirouette to give her cheeks a little bit of color. The light pool party, that's going to be the body the mermaid, and then I'm going to come in with dark Bermuda Bay just to give the little, are those the fins? Scales, that's what they're called, scales. So I'm just going to use Bermuda Bay just to highlight the scales and on the tail. Okay, now I'm going to come in with the dark Daffodil Delight using the pin end again, and this is where I'm just going to put in the highlights, the dark part of her hair. And then coming back in with the light Daffodil Delight and blending that in.
And I'm using the brush, the pin end on the majority of the body parts. The majority of the image.
Okay, now I'm going to come in with Ivory using the pen end again. I'm going to be using this in primarily for both images, and I'm going to come in and color her face and her body. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with the dark pink pirouette and just put a little bit of color on her cheeks. Next, I'm going to go ahead and use Pool Party, and for this I'll use both ends just because this is a larger image. Okay, now I'm going to come in with the dark Bermuda Bay, and like I said, I'm just going to go in and highlight the scales and then the fin of her tail. And I'm using my color lifter. I like to just tap it gently if I went outside the line. Okay, and so this is the framelit that matches the mermaid. So once we color in the night, then I'll die cut out both of these images at the same time. Okay, so now let's color in our night. The colors that I'm going to be using for this little guy is I'm going to be using Smoky Slate, the combo pack for the armor. I'm going to use Ivory again for his face and the pink pirouette for his cheeks, and I'm using the dark pink pirouette. For the feather on top of his helmet, I'm using the Daffodil Delight combo pack, and then finally for the shield, I'm using the Cherry Cobbler combo pack. Okay, I'm going to start off coloring his shield, and I'm going to start off using light Cherry Cobbler, and then I'm going to come in with the dark Cherry Cobbler and just color in two parts of the shield on opposite sides. Okay, now I'm going to come in with the Ivory and color in his face, and I am going to leave the eyes just white. All right, now I'm going to come in with the light Smoky Slate and start working on the armor. Okay, now I'm going to come in with the dark Smoky Slate and add in some darker parts, and then I'll blend it out with the light Smoky Slate. Okay, and then finally I'm going to come in with the light Daffodil Delight, and then come back in with the dark Daffodil Delight and color in his feather. All right, and there we have it. So I've got the framelit for the night, and then the framelit for the mermaid, and I'm going to go die cut both of these out on my Big Shot, and then we can start putting the card together. And so here are our die cut pieces after we've cut them out. They are just absolutely precious. Just darling, darling. Okay, so let's work on the mermaid card first. I have cut this to 5 by 7 and I've scored this at 3.5, so this makes a note card, size card. The next thing you will do is to cut another piece of Pool Party, and this measures just an 1/8 of an inch smaller. So this is 4 7/8 by 3 3/8. And I have already embossed this using our Seaside embossing folder, so that just gives it a little bit of texture. So we can go ahead and attach that to our card base. So it just gives it some really fun tone-on-tone texture. The next thing you're going to want to do is to get out your 2-inch circle punch, and these are the 2 designer series paper patterns that I chose from the Myths and Magic specialty designer series paper. So this is a little bit thicker. This side you can see here has some foil and some gloss. This side here has the foil and the gloss. So just some fun texture. So for the mermaid card, I've already punched out a circle. And then you will want to get out your layering circle framelits and then also your stitched shaped framelits. So for the layering circle, I have cut out a scallop circle in basic black. I'm using this scallop, so the diameter is about 2.5 inches. And then I'm using the second largest stitched shaped circle, and I'm using our Dazzling Diamonds Glimmer paper. So these 2 items are going to be the same for both cards. So when you do this, you can just go ahead and punch out 2. I'm going to go ahead and attach the Glimmer circle to the scallop. Just making sure that all of our scallops are even all the way around, like so. And then I'm just going to attach with Snail the 2-inch circle on top of there. All right, next let's take our mermaid, and for this I found that our mini dimensionals are perfect. So I'm just going to pop her up, putting quite a bit of dimensionals behind her body, just because we want to make sure this is, you know, nice and well supported. So go ahead and just put them, quite a few, around. Okay, and that's just going to go right there in the center. Isn't that just darling? Oh, I love it. All right, and then let's go ahead and put her up towards the top of the card so that we have room for our stamped sentiment on the bottom. So she's going to go right about there. All right, the next thing you're going to do is just to grab just some Whisper White cardstock, and I am using our Birthday Banners stamp set. This is one that you can find in our annual catalog, and I'm using the coordinating framelits to be able to punch out that banner or die cut out that banner. The ink color that I've chosen is Bermuda Bay, so let's just stamp this on our cardstock. And like I said, you're just going to grab this banner right here and die cut that out on your Big Shot. And I've already got it done. So what I'm going to do now is come in with our regular size dimensionals and just put 3 on the back of the banner. And that's going to go about right there. Just like that. So there is our mermaid card. Isn't that just adorable? I hope y'all like that. Okay, so for the Knights card, It's very similar. We just are using just a couple of different items. So I have cut out a note card in Smoky Slate. So it's the same size, 5 by 7. I've scored this at 3.5. I've cut another piece of Smoky Slate, the exact same size as the panel that we did for Pool Party. And I'm using, what I did is I used our new Stylish Stripes embossing folder that you can find in the front part of our Occasions catalog. I had mentioned this earlier, that this item is kind of hidden. So, or it's Simple Stripes. I keep calling it Stylish Stripes. So the Simple Stripes Texture Impressions embossing folder, that's on page 5 here in the bottom left corner. And I did the stripes vertically, and I'm going to use the embossed side, or the debossed side, I'm sorry. And go ahead and put that on the front of the card. So again, I did the layering circles, the scallop in basic black, and then the stitched shaped framelit in the Dazzling Diamonds. And let's go ahead and layer this onto the basic black scallop circle. Now for the boy card, I'm using the gray fleur-de-lis paper, and when you punch this out, so I did the 2-inch circle, so when you punch this out, you want to make sure that your fleur-de-lis are going the correct direction, so the pointy end points up. And let's go ahead and just layer this on. Okay, and then again, let's go ahead and get our mini dimensionals. Now for this one, you can use some of the bigger dimensionals. So let's see. You can put a few down here, and then for the sword and the top of the feather, you'll probably want to use your mini dimensionals. There we go. Okay, and let's just put him in the center, whoops, of our circle. There we go. And we can go ahead and attach him to the front of the card. Okay, and we can come back and use our same happy birthday stamp. I am using Real Red to stamp this sentiment, and then we're going to use the same framelit to die cut that out. And I've already have one. Looks like I smeared my ink a little bit, so just ignore that. And then we are going to pop this one up on Dimensionals as well. And we will have 2 birthday cards, a girl and a boy version of these darling images from the Magical Day bundle. And there you go. All right, guys. Well, here, let me bring in the 2 cards that we made. And so again, that's on page 37 of the Occasions catalog. And as a reminder, through for every $50 that you spend, you are able to choose something for free from the Celebration brochure. That is before tax and shipping. So just as a little reminder, you do have to spend $50 before tax and shipping are added. And but guys, I think you will just absolutely love this bundle. It's adorable. It was so much fun making these cards for y'all today. All right, guys. Well, if you have any questions, be sure to comment below. And if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are a subscriber to my YouTube channel and also to my exclusive newsletter. And you can go on over to istampin.com to sign up there. All right, guys. Have a great day. Bye.